Sup, bitches? I'm reliably informed that I'm terrible at pimping my stuff. So here I am, pimping my stuff in what's hopefully an amusing way. If you want to interact with me and follow me, you can find me on Twitter at Grimosaur and at Mort_post for official announcements. No. Alright, now to be serious. Yeah, jokes make me more comfortable. Right. I didn't get into YouTube to make money or garner a huge audience or anything. I largely got into YouTube as a kind of promotional tool for the other stuff that I do, and to pass comment on things in a way where people could hear my tone of voice and see my body language and so on, and would be less inclined, less able to deliberately misinterpret me or accidentally misinterpret me. And also because, well, you're all experiencing isolation now. I'm pretty isolated in my day-to-day. Anxiety, depression, living rurally, you know, working for myself. I'm pretty isolated a lot of the time. So YouTube gave me a way to talk and to express myself to other people. So it's also kind of therapy. Now, I thought perhaps that the coronavirus wasn't particularly impacting my industry. It's cheap, it's good value for money, it can be electronically delivered, all of that kind of jazz. So you would think it'd be pretty resilient. However, it was kind of a false impression given by the fact that I did two reasonably well performing releases last month, but comparing them to similar releases from previous dates, I can see that that's not going to continue to be the case, I don't think. So I'm feeling the pinch, or I'm going to feel the pinch very soon, and as such YouTube is something of an indulgence that needs to pay for itself from now on. Now, given the time and effort that I put into it, I reckon I need about $200 a month to cover the time and effort that I spend on YouTube and the investment that I put into lighting and sound gear and all the rest of it. It's not a huge amount. I've got closing in on 3,000 subscribers. If every single one, you know, well, if even a tenth of them paid in $1, that would be over the target, well over the target. I am well aware that this is a bad time to ask anybody for money. It makes my skin crawl at the best of times, but at the moment I get around $20 a month on a good month from YouTube advertising, and I get around $120 from Patreon and Subscribestar combined, and I regard those as primarily supporting my YouTube shenanigans, but also supporting the writing, the game design, all of that other stuff that I do. And if you follow my career, you know that I always pay it forward. I try to find people who need the money if I'm hiring someone to write or to do art or whatever else, and I always try to give back to the community, which is at odds with the weird reputation that I seem to have gathered for some reason. So you know I'm not just going to use it or squander it, and you know that I need it. I'm not making a huge amount of money off the advertising or anything else. So ideally I would like to get my Patreon and Subscribestar combined to $200 or more per month. So that's what I'm asking for. I'm going to treat this week as though I were a full-time YouTuber. So I'm going to spend the wild majority of my time producing content primarily for this channel, as well as running streamed games in the evenings some days of the week. And this is just going to be like a last gasp, a promotion to try and get me over that line. If I can't get to that point, I'll reduce my uploads to maybe 3 times a week. Whether I count the live stream that I do over on Grim Streams, I don't know yet. But I'm going to treat this week as an experiment to try and build the audience, create more content, draw more people to see, and we'll see how it goes. But my goal is to get to $200 or more between Patreon and Subscribestar combined to keep doing what I'm doing, which is basically one video every day in the morning under normal circumstances, occasionally a bit more, and to spend the rest of the day doing the other things that I do. But for all the value that it has for me in terms of therapy and socialization and so on, I can't justify it, especially when there's a bit of a monetary pinch going on. And I know it's tough times for everybody. Lots of people are out of work. But again, if just 1/10 of you were to give me $1 a month through Patreon or Subscribestar, that would do it easily. That would do it with room to spare. Because it doesn't help that YouTube keeps screwing over small creators. Every time I get to a regular sort of 200 views per video sort of thing, YouTube changes something and it halves. So I don't know what's going on there. But if that's any kind of judge, 200 people regularly watch most of my videos. If you each chuck in $1, that'd do the trick. Just starting to sound like pleading and whining, and I hate asking for stuff at the best of times, but yeah, it would really help. And if you want me to keep going like I regularly do, chip in. Cheers. Zang. Oh, one last thing. If you can't chip in, share some videos that you like with some people, point them in my direction, suggest they subscribe, give me a shout out on your channel if you have one, and we'll see how it goes. I'll recap in a week or so. Zang. Pulp Nova is a collection of short stories in the old pulp style but with a modern twist. You should find something here you like, from western to mythos horror to science fiction. You can get Pulp Nova at Drive-Thru Fiction, on Amazon, or in hard copy from lulu.com.